Welcome to the Paisans podcast. We're your hosts, the brothers from other mothers, Dante, Dave, and Sarc. Join us as we talk about current events, our wives, kids, or whatever else life is throwing at us this week. You're with the Paisans, you're with family.
All right. So I just wanted to say something. So this is another ticket. Can you guys see this? Yeah, another ticket.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but this has now become like so ridiculous out here on Long Island with these tickets.
Yeah, what is it?
Well, this one is a parking ticket. This one is justifiable in that you have to have a parking permit to park at like the local train station, to park at any municipal lot. And I was at the train station the other night. I mean, it ran out at the end of April. What are we, like 2 weeks into May?
Yeah.
So there's like zero grace period. It's a $75 ticket. Okay, fine. But the other tickets that we've been seeing are the intersection tickets, which take a photograph of the back of your car when you are turning in an intersection and let's say the light turns red, which we all know is very difficult sometimes when you're making a left.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can only be red for you to get out of there.
Yeah.
Right.
They're taking a picture of the back of your car as you're running that red.
Yeah.
And then the other one is this like passing school buses. All right. Now, if a school bus is pulled over and they have the stop sign and everything like that, then everybody's stopped. But they have this thing now in Nassau where they start to pull over. So everybody's doing 45 miles per hour, whatever it is. And the bus now starts to put on the lights and the sign, it's still doing 45 miles per hour. So everyone's now starting to slow down. You might have 2 lanes to the left of the bus that is just completely full of traffic and cars. So inadvertently, you could take all the photos you want. There's going to be cars in front of and passing the bus with the lights on and the stop sign coming out.
Right.
And they are issuing them like crazy. And we get them and we talk to the neighbors, like we talk to the other parents that are bringing the kids to school. And everybody's saying the same thing. I mean, it's just like this huge money grab. And these are expensive tickets, $130 for the ones where you pass the bus.
Wow.
And they don't even call it passing the bus. It's a new thing they're calling. I don't know if it's a new thing, but they're referring to it like, lack of clearing a lane when the bus is attempting pickup.
Right.
And then the other one is clearly like running a red in an intersection. And those are expensive. I think they're like $150 tickets.
Damn.
And if you sit on them for like 2 weeks, they go up $25, $25. So it's incredible. And we're seeing these. It's probably not every week, but it feels like every week.
That is bullshit. That's a straight money grab. And there's always a picture of your car. Is there always a picture of your car?
Oh, yeah. So, and everything will come in my name because both cars are in my name, but then we can see right away the car, where it is. And it always seems to be the intersections, ironically, that are really difficult to turn, do not have a left turn lane, would benefit from one, but don't have one. Maybe they're using the money to add one. I don't know. And then this bus area is the same street. Very difficult to get around. A lot of cars double parked, triple parked, buses in the morning, congestion.
Yep.
And I think it's just these, it's whatever, these cameras that are mounted, flashing these images, and then they're all going somewhere. And this thing is just pumping out tickets. Now, at the same time, in the city, in the city proper, like when we go into Queens to see my brother or Michelle goes to see her family, their policy is basically just ticket everybody and then give them the instructions to appeal it. So they want you to use this like this MTA app or NYC Park app. They discourage you now from using the little kiosks. They don't want you using them for whatever reason. You can, but they warn you like they might not all work. Okay. And the app's easy because you enter your license plate and every block or 2 blocks has a sign that has like an ordinance or area, municipal area number
or something. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you put the number in with your driver's license, you pay online like through Apple Pay or whatever, the clock starts ticking. you're good. You come back, you have a ticket, like $75 ticket, right? Parking, no sign of permit, no sign of whatever, like parking ticket. So you're like, well, what the do I do with this? So they have on the back of it instructions to appeal. You go online. Online, they want screenshots of their own app that tell you the timestamp of when you got ticketed compared to how much time you had left on the app. This is their app, not integrated with shit, obviously, because I'm sending them like screenshots in an email.
Jesus.
And then it's like, a month, maybe a month before they make a decision. And in that time, you'll get other tickets that say you're late.
And if you get pulled over,
A cop can say, I got to take you in because you have unpaid parking tickets.
You have unpaid parking tickets. Right. But they're pending in the system. Yeah, it's like, well, do you have a screenshot of the system? How do we know it's pending in our system? So you're on the hook for everything in the city. You're on the hook for proving that you paid to park there, going through their appeal process, and they're just wishing that first of all, someone's going to say, it. I'll just pay the $75. I don't have the time. Yeah. If you're a senior, I mean, good luck trying to figure that shit out. Yeah, and do screenshots and can make sure it's not a PNG when you upload it. I mean, and I feel like Long Island is now trying to follow suit with some of this stuff because all of a sudden we're like, I go outside to get the mail. It's like a picture of me getting the mail with like an $80 ticket. What the fuck did I do?
You were a little late today, Mike.
Oh my God.
I mean, the first thing I'll say is the driving through the light tickets in New Jersey. I remember that being a thing at one point, but I seem to remember hearing that. I don't know if the whole state got rid of that or something, or just maybe some towns locally to me got rid of that. And then I haven't seen or gotten one. And, I've definitely gone through questionably red lights, I mean, the ones that are switching from yellow to red, right? Like, knock on wood, I don't feel like there's much to worry about because I feel like I've done it plenty of times and haven't had any issues. So, I mean, now, of course that could happen the next time I drive somewhere and I could just happen to hit the one light with the camera in it. But I feel like they got rid of that. And I have to say, I don't know why they would have gotten rid of that considering how big of a money grab it obviously is. I mean, unless they got rid of it for the fact that it was a money grab, right? Like, because someone was like, this is bullshit. So for that one, no. I mean, it's different for me. I live in a residential, like, suburban area. So, like, I don't have to worry about parking that much. I mean, if I go into, say, one of these, like New Brunswick or Somerville or something like that, I have to worry about parking. But New Brunswick is a disaster. Like, it's probably worse now. It's probably worse now because I feel like they built up a lot of it, but then they just didn't add the parking. So it's like all street parking and like there's a couple garages, but I don't even try to street park when I go to New Brunswick. I'm like, just give me a garage. Like, I don't care. I'll pay whatever, honestly.
Yeah.
Just not have to deal with this. So, like, I don't worry as much about parking tickets, I guess. In those towns, I mean, there have been times where, I've been in Somerville to get run into get a haircut or something, 20 minutes, and I come out and it's like, I got a ticket on my car and I can't even believe it. Literally there for 20 minutes. It's like a Saturday, but at the same time, a small little city like that, I feel like these cops don't have a lot to do. So I'm almost not surprised that someone's just walking around checking meters and stuff. But in the city, I'm more surprised that they have people even looking for that. Like, there's got to be bigger crime to fight in New York City.
They have, and I know I was going to ask you about PA too, but in the city, there's armies of meter maids to the point where, and they all have their assigned areas. So for my wife's folks' apartment, and then for her brother's apartment, those are in different areas, and they know those meter maids. They've known them for over a decade. Wow. They're on a first name basis. Singh, the one guy's name is Singh, Singh.
That's the route of security. You take that route for your career. You will never make a ton of money, but you will have reliable income, and it will be virtually impossible to fire you. You won't get laid off for redundancies. You will probably barely be required to perform your job, and if you are, we will do anything and everything to just train you to do better if you don't do a good job. Fire you will be virtually impossible. And then you'll get a pension.
Right.
And you'll always have benefits. And people are like, sign me up.
Yeah, exactly. Sign me up. And then they're like, we'll get on the waiting list because these people are here. They're not going to die for another 30 years.
Right. Just have a lifelong job.
Well, that's just the thing. It's just like, gosh, I don't know. Don't you need to grow? You know what I mean? Like, can't you imagine how many years can you walk the same streets just doing the exact same job for a 1% increase each year or whatever it is, like a nominal increase? Mm-hmm. I mean, again, it's reliable, I suppose. It's secure, but goodness gracious, boring.
Well, everyone has quota, and everyone has in all lines of work, it's everyone's like, what's your KPIs? It's like, this is their version of a KPI, like how many people can you write tickets for?
That's true.
So it's just I don't know. It's not a job I would want to do.
I've noticed this trend at work sometimes where it's like, there are people who are robotic. You might call it methodical, but it's robotic in the way that it's like they didn't just have a conversation with you. It's like you said, like, I've known you 11 years, and forget if I'm like going to write the ticket. It's more like, I've known you 11 years. Are you sure this is your car? Like,
yeah.
Like,
you don't know my car.
Of course. Okay. Can I see your registration? You've seen it 100 times. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a human being or are you a robot? Like, has somebody like reset you to default settings, or like, have you forgotten that you saw me 3 days ago? And they're just like, registration, like, you know what I mean? Like, and there are people who I've interacted with who they're like that. And it's like, I barely know how to cope with that. I really do. I got to say, it's just, I just cannot relate. I just cannot relate to people who operate that way. But it's not like one person. I mean, it's there's a range of people, and I don't know if it's like, it's not an IQ thing, because I've talked to some of these people, and some of them are very intelligent. So it's like, it's not an IQ thing, but what is it that there's just this methodical approach to, like, it's almost like in their minds, like, this is work, this is formal, and therefore, if we have an interaction, I have a process to go through. Okay, my first step, what's your name? When you're like, you've known me 10 years. My name is Dante. And they're like, how do you spell that? And you're like,
you've written me 100 tickets before.
Well, because it's like they operate as if they're going to be audited someday. And it's like, did you verify the client's name? Like as if they're going to be deposed on this interaction at all times.
That's what it's like.
Right?
That's what it's like. But I often wonder with these guys, because they do look like they're under stress. Maybe it's their lives. Like, maybe, how did I get here? Maybe it's the things that they're in their home that are leading to the fact they've been a meter maid for 50 years or whatever the it is. Or is it just like, who's Jean Valjean's enemy?
Yeah, Javert.
Javert. He's just like the fucking Javert of Long Island City.
I really think it might be somewhere in between, dude. It might be like, I don't know. I think there's a bit of a power trip there. To go back to what Dave said before, I do think that there's a little bit of there's just a little bit of something there. And they'll frame it to you like, hey, listen, man, it's like, I got no choice. Sorry, I got to do it. But it's like, yeah, but you don't.
Yeah.
You don't got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kind of like we were saying not too long ago about, people expecting to have everything sort of written out for them. And I could see how that would even translate to how you literally take your job. The literal confines, as opposed to like the guidelines of how I do my job every day.
The thing about Long Island to me, Mike, is that it feels like it's sort of in this space where when you're on Long Island, like living, it's almost like it's this own little land where it's like, when you're there and just on Long Island getting around, it's a nice it's nice suburban, and you have space, and like you could shopping and everything else. But if you want to go anywhere outside of Long Island, like you need to go to New Jersey, you need to go to Pennsylvania, like you got to go through. Yes. you're looking at like probably 2 hours to get into like New Jersey or like get through whatever it is you got to wade through to get out of Long Island.
Yeah. And we're on the South Shore, so it's mainly the Belt Parkway, which runs through Long Island, Queens, Brooklyn, goes through Coney Island. It eventually comes up to the Verrazano. So that's like a throughput, but it is brutal. Like you said, 2 hours to get out.
Right.
Or you can go up and try and get across like the GW or something, but it's pretty much, it nets out to be the same no matter where you're trying to go.
Yes. There's just no shortcut. It's like you either got to go through Manhattan, which is horrible, or you got to go around Manhattan. And that sucks.
I'm wondering with the tickets, is this because they got rid of the what? Didn't they raise the toll in that one, the congestion area or something, like the congestion tolls? But didn't they get rid of that?
Yeah.
I thought they got rid of it. Oh, they didn't.
No, they implemented it. They did
implement. It's still in place. I thought I heard it was like. I could be wrong.
They're suing to get rid of it. I think maybe. Right?
Okay.
Mike, does that sound right?
That. I heard that they were trying to get rid of it, but
yeah,
I still see, like the other day when I was in the city, there were signs that said congestion pricing in effect.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe
right, D, you've seen it like outside the tunnels.
Okay, I was thinking maybe because you were talking about all the hurdles that you have to take, like driving through Manhattan, like that would be another one of them, right? Like just like potentially driving through those areas. But I thought maybe they were raising the ticketing because they're like, because I thought I had heard something that congestion price. I might have read something. Maybe
I heard something about that there's people who used to park in these areas, and so now they're parking further up, or like they're finding these other areas to park, and it's creating mass congestion in these other like residential areas because all of a sudden there's these people driving 5 blocks up to get out of the congestion parking. Now they're trying to park in the same areas. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
Okay,
that makes sense. That makes sense why there'd be an uptick in that.
Yes, and then so maybe they're trying to prevent anything. Well, they're also just generating revenue, but their attitude may be, hey, we don't want people parking over here, basically.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I could feel that.
They used to have out here, and it wasn't just in our town. There was like a bunch of towns around here where they had those cameras right outside the school zones. Okay. And they would photograph just about everybody. And it was like, as soon as the car, like the tip of the car was at the property of the school, you had to be at a certain speed limit, whatever it was, 25. Because if they photographed you, it was like, trying to analyze a touchdown, whether it went over the line.
It's like, who won the Kentucky Derby?
Like, we're looking at your car. It's like on the line. So you get ticketed. And they would get a lot of cars. I got it, probably like 3 or 4 tickets. Michelle got a bunch. And the thing is, they would pump them out. So you might get like 3 in a week and you don't know it. But a couple of weeks later, you check the mail, you have 3 tickets, all from different days in the week. So we paid a few of them. They were like $35 or $40, but like they were just trying to kill you with a lot of them. And there was some, I don't know if they pissed off an important person or what, but there was some like civil action and those things went away. They lasted about a year out here in Nassau, and then they were all taken down. Wow. And we also got a letter that if we owed any outstanding tickets, that they were just essentially null and void.
Well, hey, glad to hear it's possible.
Yeah, but now you got this other stuff that's popping up.
They need money. The problem is the government grows. It almost never shrinks. And always it needs more revenue. However much you're paying, it's just not enough. We need more because we got to do more good.
We got to do more good. Yeah.
I mean,
how about the people they hired
to
stop homelessness? And it's like, they don't. Why would they ever stop it? Because then if they stopped it, they would be out of a job. So
of course
they'd be out of this cushy 6-figure salary. I would think there's people whose job is to do something like that are making like absurd salaries with like a full-on pension, and like their job is to stop homelessness. It's like, oh, you mean stop my money train?
Did you see the reports from California, Dave? Like some of the public officials.
I don't
$300,000-$400,000 a year.
I didn't see that, but I'm not surprised.
Dole.
Yeah,
crazy. Yes.
Well, wow. Did we ever talk about the fat czar here on this? What's funny is weight czar, excuse me, not fat czar. Yeah, the San Francisco Department of Health's new weight czar has gone viral for her proclamation that no one has to be healthy.
No one
Right.
has to be
Oh,
healthy.
wow. There's a full-on website. I'm afraid to click on it, though. Meet San Francisco's weight sting. Let me click on the article. Her name is Virgie Tovar, or Virgie Tofar. This one maybe doesn't fit the mold of overpaid, because in this article it says it's a temporary position and she's only going to be paid $12,000. So
Okay. Why did you
she's
hear
one
this?
of the.
Did you hear some outrageous number?
No, but I was just thinking about outrageous titles, which is that being one of them. So like just like someone who's being paid on a government salary with this title.
I'm award-winning fat activist and professional feminist killjoy Virgie Tovar, and I'm here today to talk to you about an epidemic that's affecting women everywhere. It's called CRFI, a cake-related fat-phobic incident, or CRFI, is that moment when it's time to eat delicious cake and it's interrupted by a moralizing impulse. Inevitably, there's always someone at the party who has to declare publicly that their slice is too large, and that the person who's cutting the cake, almost invariably a woman, must do some disproportionate amount of labor in order to accommodate their need to feel superior.
The ones in California were paid exorbitant amounts of money to fight homelessness. I mean, it was like that's their goal was to fight homelessness and like eliminate homelessness, and obviously homelessness has only grown. And they lost. I don't want to throw out a number, but they lost more than $10 million, if I'm aware, of money toward that toward fighting homelessness, and they have no answer for where it went. They're just like,
right.
Yeah, we've done an audit. We can't answer for what happened to the money.
We went to the private jets to visit the places where there were homeless people to assess how many homeless there were.
Yeah. It's like
you can't fly commercial.
More and more of this evidence is coming out that people were just funding, like building and creating an NGO, getting it a contract with the government, and then just talking to the right person, then getting $100 million, is like paid to their NGO, just or paying the NGO and then like circling it back to themselves. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to help you get elected. I'm going to run this NGO. Once you get elected, you give this NGO control, like however much. You give us $100 million grant. I'll give you $40 million, and I'll take 50, and then we'll have $10 million to make some pissant little production that we'll claim is where all the money went. And you'll get rich and I'll get rich. It's my idea, so I get 50% and you only get 40. But you have to be the politician. But you can do this with Mike, and you can do it with a whole bunch of other people too. So you can get plenty rich. And that's really what seems to be going on. Half of them, they produced nothing. They can't find anything that they actually produced. It's like, it's not even like complicated.
It's a think tank.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They're like brainstorming ways to deal with the homeless situation.
At least a think tank is supposed to produce papers or like some type of, Jesus, a PowerPoint presentation.
Something.
Right. That tells you
KPIs.
Yeah. It's just crazy.
At least one KPI associated with a think tank.
Right.
Did you think?
We had thought.
We thought. Yes.